Hello again, and welcome to a new season of Hit the Bar, the Shrimps fans panel. We did do the one just in the closed season when Derek was appointed, but this is the first one of the new season proper. And really, exciting start with a fantastic victory away at Walsall, and then a giant killing act in the League Cup at Huddersfield last night is what we were hoping for. But it's not turned out like that, has it? Matty, we'll just welcome the panel first. We've got Matty newcomer, we've got Freddie and Dill returning from last season. Matty, have you been really disappointed with the performances so far, or with so many new players, is it kind of what you expected?
To be honest, I think I was surprised to actually see that many players coming into the season because we've gone from all the players leaving, and not just last season, but pretty much every season since lockdown. And it's gone from having no players at all to getting 15 just out of nowhere. That was a big shock, just as much as considering the owners just done jack all.
Yeah. But have you? From what you've seen so far of the players, is there anything there that gives you any encouragement that we might do all right this season?
Yeah, I think is it Hope, one of the players. I think he's got a lot of courage, and I can see him having a fairly.
He comes with a good record, a good history, doesn't he?
Yeah,
but yeah, maybe.
No, absolutely.
Career in decline, maybe that's why he's come to us. But not been a great start, has it, Freddie? And anything in the performances you've seen to encourage us, or is it all doom and gloom?
I thought defensively we were pretty strong against Walsall. I don't think we could say that yesterday after conceding after about 30 seconds. But I'm encouraged by what Derek's saying post-match. He seems to be on the same page as what I think most of the fans have been saying, and sometimes that's not quite been the case. So I think the expectation he's set, he wants, is well, if we meet that, we'll be okay. And that's how Derek is. You've got to rise to his standards. So I'm hopeful.
How are you, Dill? Have you sort of watched the first two games and thought, blimey, it's going to be a tough season?
I've been happy with the second half displays. I don't know what's happening at half time, but to come out and we don't look like a different team, but we don't look like we're about to concede every time we're in our own third. I don't know why we're not starting the game like that. And I don't know why it takes so long for us to find any sort of rhythm. It's not so much even a pattern of play that we're finding, we're just finding each other on the pitch rather than not knowing where anyone was. I can't say I've been impressed, to be honest. I still think that we are lacking that number 9 that we need. Unfortunately, I disagree. Alan Hope is not my guy, but I thought the angle actually last night, considering he didn't have a lot of supply, I think that's something we're going to have to sort out in that midfield. But the scraps he got, he did what he could with them. He was very isolated. If you looked at that pitch, it's not a massive pitch, but there was definitely out players here and there, and he's isolated there with 3 on him. And what more can he do, really?
Yeah. It's difficult, isn't it? And you can't judge when you're playing a team like Huddersfield, really, can you, Matty?
No,
because they're different quality to us. They just come down out of the Championship. Yeah, and we can't judge that. But we all went last night, and we had a good night, didn't we? Apart from the result, it was a good night. But did you come away from that really despondent, or do we just write that one off?
I was kind of in the middle. I could understand it because they're a team with a very big budget, and being in the Premier League for a few seasons, it's not too unsurprising. But then at the same time, you feel for your club, and you do want to see them do well, especially against bigger clubs. It is more of a challenge, but just seeing them go the extra mile and try and not necessarily smash the team and absolutely destroy them, but just to look like a bigger team than what we are.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to stand out and just stand out and become the bigger person.
Yeah. I mean, it's from what you said, Dill, about us not looking as if we're finding our players and all that. Is that not understandable? We've got a complete squad basically of almost all new players, bar a handful who were retained from last season. Is that not just going to take time?
Yeah, definitely. I think you don't learn how to work on all these new players. Who've mainly never played for Derek. It takes time to understand his ways as with any manager. But I would say is 15 new signings. They were all done quite early on. Before I think it was the second game pre-season they were all signed on. So they've had time to gel, unlike other seasons when we've still not got a full squad together.
No, by the start of the season.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like we're going to sign anyone else. I was sort of hoping we'd hit the ground running and that'd be a benefit of doing business very early.
Yeah.
But might not be the case. But like you said, they've got to gel.
Yeah.
Just got to hope.
Do you see that potential in the squad that we've got, Dill, that we can gel and show better performances than we showed in the first two? Like I say, it's difficult with the Huddersfield one, but Walsall away and then in the sort of the latter friendly games, do you see in that squad a squad that can improve?
Of course, because the players that Derek wanted, and normally players that Derek wants, fit his style well, and you get results, even if it's a 1-0 every week, even if it's a 0-0 in a game you thought you were going to get thrashed in. Results are what get you up the league, and ultimately I think, they can. But at the moment, they were all pre-arranged signings. They didn't all come through the door that one day.
No.
They'd all been
they were announced that day.
They've been slowly coming through for a few weeks, and you'd kind of hoped at least, your back four, who have probably been closely working together, would kind of know where each other are, and just a little bit more. Maybe I'm just expecting that bit much, but at the same time, I saw them just hopelessly trying to get the ball across our back line and intercepted, and even when it happened just a bit further up in midfield, we tried to find someone who wasn't there, and ultimately they got the ball, they drove it straight across goal and conceded.
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen the Huddersfield game. I was away for the Walsall game and all the friendlies, and I was a bit worried, to be honest, because looking at it, I like the centre backs. I thought they looked good individually.
Yeah.
The full backs looked okay, but I didn't see much in midfield, and I didn't see much up top at all. And if that's what we're working with, I'm worried for the season. And what surprised me, Matty, is he usually brings in a few young lads on loan, and we've not seen that. I mean, maybe he will, but is that something that you'd be looking for him to do?
Yeah, I hope so, because I think everyone, especially if they're new, they deserve a chance, and not just at the end of the game, at extra time, if they get more than 6 minutes and that, they deserve to play for at least 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, but bringing players in on loan, if we can get some from, higher up league clubs like we normally do. We've had the Mickey Mellon and Bloxham and all these different players that we've had over the years. And I don't know, Eli King, players like that, we're not seeing any of them, are they? Are you hearing any whispers? Are we likely to bring any more in, Freddie?
I think Derek has looked at it last season, where pretty much every loan got recalled.
And they lost them in January, you can see.
And I think he's looked at it and thought, we need, I think he's even mentioned it at one point, is that he wants someone for the whole season.
Yeah.
And to be fair, we did really well that first half of the season, picked up a bit at times in the second half, but that first half got us the point in itself to stay up, which is... And
then to see them all disappear, I can see why you wouldn't want that to be repeated.
So I suppose that gives us hope for the season.
Yeah.
That we've got the squad that's going to stay there and gel, because they've got longer to gel.
Yeah. I'd still like to see a few flyers up front if we could. There you go. But we'll play Walsall away, we'll play Huddersfield. It's not going to get any easier over these next few weeks because we're playing Gillingham, aren't we? Do you expect anything out of that, Dill, or is that going to be another toughie, you think?
I do expect something out of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just the fact that it's the first home game back. We're under Derek. The fans, you'd expect them to come out in numbers because it's the first game back, and we've got a lot of people who really love Derek in the club
Yeah.
for numerous reasons I can understand. So I think, despite the results, I could see something coming just because we're at home.
Yeah.
And it sounds so daft because it's just where you're playing. It's just a different
but
stadium.
It does. We know how that affects games, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you know how good we are under Derek at home. And I'm just hoping that we can't go another game without at least a point.
Or at least a shot on goal.
That's it, no
Two
shot.
games with it. I thought it was funny when Jordan Slew hit the one over the bar and all the crowd last night were, we've had a shot. All that,
We
but
can't go a full season of celebrating shots.
yeah.
Not even on goal, just shots and corners. It's
I think it's a tough start because I fancy Gillingham and Doncaster, who we play after that. I fancy them as the two teams to do well in the league this season. And we don't play the ones who I don't fancy, you know, like Accrington and Carlisle, teams like that, who I think might struggle till a little bit later on. But are you looking forward to Saturday, Matty?
Yes, very looking forward. Yeah, you know, it's as usual. I do get nervous if we're going to beat a team, but normally I just have the optimism, you know, having a league club which is literally just on your doorstep. You know.
Literally on
best,
yours.
best pies in exactly, yeah. Best pies in the world, you know. To me, that's what it's all about, just like family and.
I think a lot of people have been thinking that way recently with the off-field issues that we have, and you know, there's no point to speculate on that because we don't know anymore, do we? You know, we understand there's been an offer in and it's been accepted and it's now with the league, but we've no real idea who it is. You know, there's been all sorts of rumours about. But we don't know, so it's pointless speculating until we get a bit more information, really. But I think a lot of people have been in that frame of mind where at least we've still got a team to support, you know. And the fans were brilliant last night, weren't they? You know, they never stopped from start to finish. I think there's like nearly 200 there. You enjoy it, Fred, last night?
I tried to enjoy it. No, it was a good day out, and you know, going to grounds like that, you have to enjoy it while you can. And we hope that continues, like you said. And we're just lucky that it's still got a club, unlike some others that have fallen through, like Bury and so forth.
Yeah, definitely.
The one thing we have learned, and it's only just today, is Stuart Drummond's left us. Obviously, massively big servant and really important to the club over the years as a player and then as a coach at the youth levels. Did that come as a surprise to you, Dill?
It came as a surprise, but can you really blame him?
Yeah.
Is the unfortunate part. Like, it kind of shows for someone so big in the club's infrastructure. Like, who's going to come in and have that much passion for, you know, the local lads who are trying to break into football? And like, we don't really utilise the youth like we can and we should, but it's still a big part of the club. And
we've seen it recently, you know, Adam Mayer and then Fairclough coming through. It's important, you know, so it's not something you want to abandon at all, but you know, job security, you know, it's a big thing in it, and if he's you know, found somewhere else that's more secure, you can't blame him for that. But it's sad to see him going, Freddie.
Yeah, no, I think it takes a lot of time, effort, resources, and money to have a good academy, and maybe Drummond's looked at it and thought, I'm not sure that's going to happen this season, especially. So,
We mentioned that I mentioned who I thought would do well this season. Who do you think, Freddie? This season,
Angle, I thought was.
No, I mean in teams.
Oh, sorry,
in the league. Sorry.
I think, like you said, Doncaster and Gillingham, the bigger teams now in the league. Now I've got rid of the big ones like Stockport, Wrexham. I can see them doing.
And they're investing, aren't they, as well? So it's going to be tough. Matty, prediction for Saturday against Gillingham?
Oh, 2-1
to us.
Yeah.
Good man. I like your style.
Oh yes.
Come on, Freddie.
We'll go 1-0 win.
1-0 win.
Yeah.
Dill.
Yeah, I'd take a 1-0 as well, to be honest with you.
I would take any kind of result like that. Sadly, I think it might be a tough one. I think we might get beat on Saturday, and we might take a few more weeks to hopefully find our form. But hopefully we can do that. We'll be here next week, next Wednesday again. So I hope you can join us for that. Please click the like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. And if anybody does want to come on the panel, just give us a private message or something like that, I'm Glenn Cooper. You can get in touch with me on Facebook. And we're happy to have new faces. Don't want me all the time and same ones. Hopefully we can get new blood into it as the season goes on. But we'll see you next week, and come on, you shrimps.